Today I'm going over my November budget closeout, going over all my numbers, including all the money coming in and all the money that went out. I am a monthly budgeter, so the end of each month, I usually create my budgets for the next month. And then at the end of the month, I like to close out my budget and start fresh the new month. So when I do these budget closeouts, I like to go over the overview of everything, what I spent this month, and what we were able to put to savings. For the most part, I am a cashless digital budgeter, so I use this spreadsheet to capture everything, including tracking my budget, my expenses, and my check-ins to make sure that we're not going over. And I do it all here in this Google spreadsheet. So if you're interested in this spreadsheet, I'll link it down in the description box below, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the month of November overall was a pretty good month for us, mainly because the first 3 weeks I didn't do a lot of spending, or we didn't do a lot of spending for our family. So I was able to save a little bit of money there. But the main goal that we were working on this month was saving for Christmas. And I've been doing some savings challenges for the month of November, and I'm proud to say that we have saved up a lot of money for our Christmas sinking fund. So let's just go ahead and jump into it and jump into the numbers. So first place I'm going to start in my spreadsheet is on the top left here with my income. As you can see, we have a lot of different incomes this past month, which is really exciting. And this is where I was able to cash stuff some of my Christmas sinking funds. So let's go ahead and zoom in and look at this. For our income, this is our regular W-2 job income. We budgeted $6,246.58 to come in. Our actual amount is $6,246. I actually think there was cents here, but I didn't add it for some reason. So it says we're 58 cents under budget, but technically it all worked out the same because I knew exactly we were getting to the penny this month. So I'll change that later. The next one is our student loan savings. So for those of you who are new here, I have $8,000 in student loans right now, but I have that exact amount sitting in my savings account currently. And what I'm doing is I'm just making the minimum payment right now. A few months ago, I applied for the student loan forgiveness through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and I'm waiting to hear back from that. I don't think that they will actually pay 100% of it, maybe a certain part of it, but I'm just saving up the full $8,000 whenever I hear back from them, and then use that money if I need to. So I'm just going to pay the minimum until that. So I budgeted 101. It was actually 101. So that's what came out. So the next line items here are all the apps that I earn money from. I actually already cash stuffed these and went over them. And I believe my Saturday's video on December 2nd, where I cash stuff all of these. Let's just go through these. So the first one was Surveys on the Go, and I should put Surveys on the Go so you know which one they came from. On the Go. I've been using this one for a couple of years now, and I've earned a lot of money from it, but I haven't been doing it as much as I used to back when we were saving for our house. But in the last couple of months, I've really picked it up. And so I was able to cash out. So that was $81.45. I don't have a link or anything. You just download Surveys on the Go app. Out of all the survey apps I've used, I like this one the best. So yeah, the next one is Ibotta. I was able to cash that out at $35.25. I do have a link for that below if you're interested, or if you don't already have it. It gives you cash back on your grocery purchases. The next is Upside, and I was able to cash that out at $31.85. And this is really, since I've gotten my minivan, I use it a lot more now. There's a lot of gas stations around where I live where I can earn cash back, and that's what it is. It gives you cash back on your gas purchases. So yeah, I was able to cash that out at $31.85. Macari, I actually sold one of my old Apple Watches. It was broken, where the screen had broke in a small part of it. Other than the screen, it works perfectly fine. So I decided to go ahead and sell it with the stipulation that the screen had to be fixed in order for someone to use it. So yeah, I was able to get $25.45 off that. Brand Club is another app that I earn money from. So I ended up cashing that out at $22.05. I'm still learning how to use this one. It syncs up to your credit cards and looks at old purchases, recent purchases that you have made, and you can get cash back on that. There's other ways you can make money off Brand Club. I'm just not too savvy on this app and how to use it. The next one is Receipt Jar. I really like this one. This one's really easy because it just automatically does it for you and you make the money. It's not a huge payout, but it will give you a little bit. So I was able to cash that out at $10. SoFi Rewards technically isn't like a cashback app, but it's just my bank account. They give you money just for logging in every day. So I think that's really cool. I have a link for SoFi if you're interested in that. I think right now they're doing like $200 bonus if you set up direct deposits with them. And so that ended up being $5.70. And again, this is just passive. This is just me checking my bank account every day. And then the next one is Venmo Rewards. They were offering a promotion if you bought a $10 or $15 Starbucks gift card. I can't remember. If you bought the gift card, they'll give you $5 cash back. So went ahead and took advantage of that and was able to get the $5. And then this last line item isn't from an app. It's just extra work that I did at my regular job, and that was $118 that I received. So really good with the extra money this past month. Again, I didn't earn all of this in the month of November. I've been earning it over the last few months, but I just cashed them out in November, if that makes sense. So in total, that is, let me highlight these. I was able to make an extra $334.72. And if you just highlight just the apps alone, I'm just going to highlight this, then it was over $200 that I made extra money in. So pretty good. Apps are a really good way to earn a little extra money, especially if you don't have a lot of time and resources to make money in other ways. So for our budgeted amount, I budgeted that we would bring in $6,347.58. But actually what hit our bank account was $6,681.72. And that's a difference of a positive $334.14. So pretty amazing. We were able to bring home that much extra money this month. So let's see how we spent this money. So scrolling down to our expenses, the first one I want to start with is our fixed expenses. These are the ones, our bills that don't really change that much from month to month. So the first one is our mortgage. I budgeted $26. That's what came out. Van payment, I budgeted $465. $462.81 came out. Water, I budgeted $71.04, but $73.29 came out. So that's a negative, and I think it's because I'm not adding, like I knew how much our water bill would be, but I'm not adding a fee that they're charging us each month for processing it digitally, which I don't think there's a way to avoid it. They should just include the fee on the bill. I don't know why they do that, because no matter if I send in a check or money order or credit card, they're still going to charge me that service charge. So I don't even understand. But anyway, the next is Apple. I budgeted $10,999 came out. My internet, it's the standard $65.55. My electric bill was $197.04, and that's what came out. This is on the lower end, and I did get it for the month of December, and it is even lower. Thankfully, during the summer, we just have those really high months, and I'm kind of glad to be getting into cooler weather, and it kind of saves our electric bill a little bit. Next is cell phone. I budgeted $98. It was $96.90. This is just for my cell phone. My husband's is paid for through his work, and I just looked at my bill for Verizon, and it looks like my cell phone is now paid off. So the month of December, this should be a lot less. So we'll see. I mean, not a lot less. I think maybe $10+ less. But yeah, I'm excited about that. 403B was the standard $93.79. Life insurance was $29.43. My trash was $27. And my Chewy subscription was $64.91. And that is for my dog stock food. So those are our fixed expenses. Nothing too crazy there. It all pretty much balances it out for the most part. So let's get into our variable expenses. Those are the ones that are a bit variable and do change from month to month and week to week. So the first one is our food category. I budgeted $1,100 this month. I usually budget around $1,000, but I bumped it up to $1,100 for Thanksgiving. And we ended up spending almost $1,100. We were just 3 cents under budget. So pretty good there. Next is gas and car. I budgeted $225, but I only spent $48.83. So I'm under budget by $176.17. Now I actually filled up twice in the month of November, but my husband filled up the other time for me. I still would have been under budget. And it's just because I had a week off of work. And again, my husband did fill up my gas tank for me the other time. Next is household. For household, I budgeted 60. It was actually 83.70, so I was over budget there, 23.70. Miscellaneous, I budgeted 100. We spent 96.46, so we're $3.54 under budget. Pups, I budgeted 40 and ended up being 64.91. So we're over budget there by 24.91, and this was because the Chewy subscription came out twice for the month of November, because I have it set up every 4 weeks, and every 4 weeks it just happened to hit us twice in the month of November. So I just need to look into that and budget for it going forward. Which months are we going to have to purchase our Chewy subscription twice, if that makes sense. Next is kids. I budgeted 200. I spent 207.42, so over budget there, $7.42. Not horrible. Beauty, budgeted 60, spent 60 exactly, so no difference. Medical, budgeted 60, spent 24.08, so we're under budget there, $35.92. For fun, we budgeted 60. We spent $41.38, so $18.62 under budget. Gifts, budgeted 200, spent $228.26, so we're $28.26 under budget. Personal spending, this is just for myself. My husband budgets his own spending money separately, so I get 60. I spent $57.89, so I'm under budget by $2.11. So looking at this, really our gas budget really saved us in all of these categories together. And then there's a lot that we were under budget, but there's several that were over budget, but only by $20 or so. So I'll have the totals down at the bottom. For savings, I budgeted only $360 to go into sinking funds, but I was able to put $513 to savings. And this is because, one, I was able to save some money in variable expenses. So my variable expenses, I just transferred over, or what was left over, my variable expenses, which I'll show you here in a second. I used it for my sinking funds. And then for the extra money for our income, I went ahead and put that $334 from the income to our Christmas sinking fund. So in total, we were able to save over $800, which is pretty wild. I haven't done that in a long time. And then for debt, we just had that student loan payment, and that was it. So our totals, so for our fixed expenses, we budgeted $3,720.63. We spent $3,720.71, so only an 8-cent difference. I feel like that is pretty spot on for our fixed expenses. This is pretty much every month we're right around the cents for our fixed expenses. So that's really good. Variable expenses, we budgeted $2,165. We actually spent $2,012.90. So $152.10 under budget. So that's where I was able to put more money toward our sinking funds this month, which brings us to our savings. I budgeted $360, but I was actually able to put $847 towards savings. Again, this came from our extra income up here and our variable expenses savings, and then also the $360 that we already had. So pretty awesome. So there's a difference there, but in a good way. So our total expenses, we budgeted for $6,346.63 to come out. But actually, our expenses, including our savings, was $6,681.61, leaving us a total of 11 cents difference. Well, I'm just going to leave that 11 cents in my checking account. I'm not too picky about getting it to the exact penny or cents, because I don't want to have to transfer cents to my savings account. I just leave the cents in there as a buffer, if that makes sense. So I'm going to consider this a zero-based budget, and that is how we spent our money this month. So overall, a really good month, and I was able to send over $800 to savings this month, which is so awesome. Again, it has to do a lot with the app's extra work and the money we were able to save with our variable expenses. So scrolling back up to my chart. So for our fixed expenses, I budgeted for almost 59% of it to go to our fixed expenses, but actually 55.7 went to our fixed expenses. I budgeted 34% to our variable, but actually only 30% of our income went to variable. And really the biggest difference is our savings. I was able to put more to savings than originally budgeted. So I originally budgeted 5.7% to go to our savings, but actually we were able to put almost 13% of our income to our savings this month, which is really good. And then lastly, my goals. I would say, as far as staying under budget this month, I'm going to say yes, because this is the first time in a really long time that I had money left over in my variable expenses. Even though I did go over some of my budget categories, the one that I went over in the most was only $28 over budget, which isn't bad. I know it all adds up in the long run, but I stayed under budget for all my variable expenses, and so I'm going to consider that a win. Video my weekly check-ins. I did do that this month. I did not read one book. I might as well just delete this because I haven't finished my one book in so long. Hopefully with Christmas break, I can get back into my reading habits again. Again, it's a habit. It's something that I need to start doing for myself, but we're just not there right now. And then finished my Christmas savings challenges. I finished a couple of them, but I still haven't finished a lot of them. And I need to get on the ball with that since it's the beginning of December. And I usually have all my gifts done by this time. But because I've been trying to save as much as possible and do those savings challenges, I haven't really got to a lot of shopping yet. So I want to go ahead and save that for next month, for the month of December, and then plan out my videos. So I plan on doing Vlogmas for the month of December, and I've been really good about planning out my videos and what I'm going to do. So I'm super excited about my plan and the videos that I'm going to be filming for you guys. And so those are our goals. So I got 3 out of the 5, so not too shabby. So that is my November closeout. Again, I've already said it, this month was a really good month for us. I think we just got in extreme savings mode for Christmas and putting in a lot of extra hours at work, mainly so we can enjoy our time during the holiday, but also make a little extra cash. Let me know in the comments below how your November budget went. I'm going to be posting a video every single day and for Vlogmas until the 24th of December. So come back tomorrow. I think tomorrow is how to set up a budget dashboard video. So be sure to check out that video, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.